It's time for a Moochie Robinson update.
What it do, Eagles fans? Breaking news: Urban Meyer to the Jaguars, Arthur Smith to the Falcons, and Robert Saleh to the New York Jets. Who would come to the Eagles after those good coaches is off the board? Now, Urban Meyer's had a deal with the Jaguars. I wasn't really too fond with Arthur Smith and Robert Saleh. He has a 5-year deal. The next person is really Eric Bieniemy. I'm telling y'all, because if we don't get Eric Bieniemy, chances are he might go to the Texans. And if he goes to the Texans, it's over. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, they just don't know football. I can care less if he's an owner. He knows the business side, but he just don't know football. I'm convinced. I mean, as much as I'm trying to have his back, they're going left. They keep going left. And if we act now, and at least if you talk to some football fans or somebody else in the organization, and I believe it's like with the Eagles, it just feels like it's a lot of yes men. If we bring Eric Bieniemy in, give him full control, 100% control. I mean, stop. It feels like with Doug Peterson, it felt like the first 2 years y'all gave him control for the first 2 years, and after that, it's no, or especially Howie Roseman. I just don't believe why you would fire. It just feels like we should never fired him because look at the direction that we're going into. It's like, what direction do you want to go into? You want to win or you want to go home? It feels like y'all just want to go home. And before I get into Eric Bieniemy, it's just like now the rumors are y'all wanted to fire Frank Wright. Like, again, why fire Frank Wright after Doug Peterson stood up for him? He gave him another chance, and on top of that, it's like with Frank Wright, he went to Carson Wentz personally and said, "How can I make you better?" So what he did was, again, I said this story before, but what Frank Wright did was he went and grabbed the North Dakota playbook and said, "Okay, you like a 2 tight end set." He said, "I'm gonna put in what you already know and put in what I already know, and we're gonna go from there." And guess what? And that led us to Super Bowl in 2017. Now, it's just to the fact that I just wish Wentz would have never got hurt. If he would have never got hurt, I guarantee he would have won the Super Bowl. I mean, he was just on fire that year. He was MVP candidate and everything. I just wish he would have never ran in and he got hurt with the Rams game. All right, so now fast forward, he becomes a head coach for the Colts, and I believe he took the same gameplay. And look what he did with the Colts. So no wonder that if Carson Wentz wants to be traded, he's going to go to the Colts and he's going to be better. And, of course, he'll be way better than Phillip Rivers and, and so forth and so on. So now, if we bring in Eric Bieniemy in, he's already offensive coordinator. Check his resume. Look what he's already done with the Kansas City Chiefs from last year and this year. So now, if I was to come in, I would trade Jalen Hurts. As much as I don't want to, I would, because he got too much gameplay for him to just be sitting on the sideline. Now, I understand he's cheaper and second-round draft pick and this, that, and third, but we gave Carson Wentz too much money. Jeffrey Lurie don't even want him to leave. So now, I would trade him, but when I trade him, I would trade him for either Will Fuller, Allen Robinson, or Marvin Jones. I wouldn't even get a wide receiver in the draft. I would have to just skip on Chase, and I would skip on Deontay Smith. And besides, they might even leave. Them two might leave within the first top 5. So now, there's plenty of other wide receivers in the draft too that I feel that will still be nice. But now that I have my veteran wide receiver, because now that I have my wide receiver, because Alshon Jeffrey should be going, and of course Deshaun Jackson will be going. I'm an offensive coordinator. My plays is thorough. My plays is, like, again, check my resume. This is Eric Bieniemy we talking about. So now I have running backs. I got Miles Sanders and I got Jordan Howard. And I have Boston Scott. So that's my 3-headed running backs. So now that I have them, I'll be working on my defense. I would request for Micah Parsons, my middle linebacker, and I would get Eric Stokes, Jr., cornerback from Georgia. So now that again, I'm the head coach and I'm already an offensive coordinator. I'm working on my defense. I want a top-notch defense. So now that I have a top-notch defense, is that I have to bring in another defensive coordinator. I would love to make Orion's, but because I mean this is not a race card, but because he's African American, he's black. I don't believe that they're going to have two black head coaches on one team, or we could make history. So it's not a racist thing. It's just that I know it's just a business thing. I just don't think that they would go for it, or just as of right now. Now Eagles, we would probably would make history on top of that, maybe because we have bringing when nobody didn't want Michael Vick, we gave him a chance after his situation. So now I believe if once I trade Carson, once I trade Hurts, and because I'm an offensive coordinator and I'm the head coach, now all I need is a defensive coordinator. It'd be a perfect setting for the Eagles. It's just, are they willing to do that? Now, it's just, again, it's like, what's the point of us doing mock drafts and we going to get this person, get that person, but now we talking about Howie Roseman. I mean, Howie Roseman will go when we all going right, or when we all going to that direction going, a good miles per hour, all of a sudden we go left, all because of Howie Roseman and because of how he thinks. So, yeah, Eric Bieniemy, I believe he's the best thing as of right now. So, if you don't want to mess up, or if you don't want to go to a different direction, Eric Bieniemy is the guy. Stop calling these college coaches. Lincoln Riley, he's not coming because he's already making $8 million per year. Unless if you're giving him 16, he probably will come. But Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie is not going for that. They make too much money over in college. Why would I want to come? Doug Peterson was only making maybe $4 to $6 million a year. So let me know what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna come back with another video on my mock drafts. Until then, I'm gonna holler at y'all.